So before spending $45 or $55 on a book, sometimes it's nice to know what's inside the book. So that's my purpose for this YouTube channel, is to show you inside the books that I have read. So this Growing Gourmet and Medicinal Mushrooms is the 3rd edition by Paul Stamets. He's a pretty famous mushroom guy, and I got interested in growing mushrooms about a year ago. So I bought this book, and I have read it cover to cover. It took me 3 months, but I did it. So it was first published in 1993 and then in 2000. So I'm not sure where the 3rd edition printing was, but anyway. So you can tell it's a bit of a dated book. There's lots of black and white photos in here, which is fine. He does have a few colored photos. The first part of the book tells all about the history of mushrooms, etc. But the chapter that really got my attention in the beginning was chapter 4 and 5, Natural Culture, Creating Mycological Landscapes. That's what I'm interested in. So, some wild mushrooms naturally found in beds of wood chips, very valuable information. And then stump inoculation with plug spawn. And different methods like a wedge method and a spawn disc technique. Good to know. Here's some plug spawn with mycelia in it. And then the log culture, inoculating logs and what you do with that. Very, very pertinent, interesting information as far as I was concerned. And then the chapter 5, Permaculture with a Mycological Twist. This is right what I am interested in. So very valuable chapter for me. Then the next section I found very fascinating and helpful was all the names. He gives all the names of every kind of tree that can grow mushrooms on it. So very valuable. Very much appreciated that. And then it's so interesting. You can get from a petri dish a wedge of mycelium into a jar of grain, expanded tenfold, and then it's unlimited the amount of mushrooms you can grow from just a wedge of mycelium from a petri dish. Pretty cool. And then he talks about collecting spores and how important that is. Now, this chapter, chapter 21, is the reason you buy this book. It is almost, well, over 100 pages, and it tells every mushroom species you could hope to want to know how to grow and all about it. So, for instance, let's look at the lion's mane. Hericium erinaceus. It gives its common names, taxonomic synonyms and considerations, and then it gives a description, distribution, natural habitat on dying or dead oak, walnut, beech, maple, sycamore, and other broadleaf trees found most frequently on logs or stumps, the microscopic features, available strains, mycelial characteristics, natural method of outdoor cultivation, recommended courses for expansion of mycelial mass to achieve fruiting, suggested agar culture media, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation spawn media, substrates for fruiting, yield potentials, and harvest hints, form and product sold to market, nutritional content, medicinal properties, flavor, preparation, and cooking, and then his final comments on it. So he does all of that for each mushroom. What a wealth of information. So that is huge, huge chapter. And then chapter 24 was a very good chapter with recipes, although I have not tried any recipes yet because I haven't started to grow mushrooms. But that's a good section. Cultivating problems and their solutions, a troubleshooting guide, definitely lots of factors to affect your mushroom growing, from pests and flies and insects. So he gives good advice. And then there's an appendix, description of environments for a mushroom farm, and he goes all about building his laboratory and how you build a laboratory, and the fruiting rooms and all that, what needs to happen. So, and then another appendix is a resource directory. All kinds of addresses you could ever hope to want about getting in contact with mushroom people. And then finally, analysis of basic materials used in substrate preparation. So talks about alfalfa, beans. I mean, it goes through everything that you could possibly use for substrate in your mushrooms. So would I buy this book again, or would I recommend this book? Absolutely. If you are wanting to grow mushrooms, I would give this a 5-star. He obviously knows what he's talking about. Now, the next book that I will be doing a review on is this one that I am currently reading by Trad Cotter, Organic Mushroom Farming and Mycoremediation. So stay tuned for the next video.